Hey guys, this is Matt Brunet, creator of Animation Lookback and ANIMAT'S Reviews, and welcome to another big and beautiful round of updates. And ever since the last update vlog, there have been so many major things that have happened, but especially a lot of huge milestones that have occurred with my YouTube channel and essentially my career as a content creator. And first of all, and probably the biggest of them all, is the fact that after so long, after many years of doing this, I have finally have 100,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. And it really was an exciting moment. And it was something that did take a little bit longer than I expected, but I am so glad that I have finally reached the major milestone. And I've already given out my major thanks to you all. I've already talked about it in a few of my other videos. And I've already done many things to go and celebrate it already. I've already created a poll so that you guys could go and vote what would be the most requested animated movie for me to review in an upcoming episode of ANIMAT'S Classic Reviews. I also did a whole video where I gave out my thanks to specific people or specific groups of people while I unbox my Silver Creator Award, which I have hanging on my wall, big and beautiful, and I could not be any more proud of it. It's just really awesome to have it right now and to be in this position on YouTube. So it just truly was an amazing moment. And my YouTube channel is still prominently growing from there, believe it or not. It didn't take long for the 100,000 subscriber mark to actually stay on my YouTube channel, because not long afterwards, it immediately went up to 101,000. So it's great to see that my channel is still prominently growing after that. And I do hope that the growth can continue, and who knows, maybe we can grow it bigger and bigger until one day maybe the dream can ultimately happen where the next milestone can actually be reached, where we can actually get 1 million subscribers. I mean, it sounds like a crazy dream, but I mean, at this point, it's not impossible, so who knows? So once again, I would like to say thank you all so much for the milestone, and I hope that I can go and still do this for you guys for many years more, and that we can reach this YouTube channel to new heights and see where it can go from there. But it is not the only major milestone that my YouTube channel has reached. There is also another very significant one. As I've stated, I've done this for many years, but it's actually not long ago, or at least not long ago since this update vlog, where I have officially reached the milestone where it has officially been 10 years since I have opened my YouTube channel and I have uploaded my first video with Animation Lookback, Walt Disney Animation Studios Part 1. And as a way to celebrate it, I actually released the long-awaited remake, something that I have promised to do for so long, but now the first part has finally been released, and that is another major occurrence that really was worth celebrating, especially with the release of the first part of the new history of Disney animation for Animation Lookback, where so far, the first part, even though it is literally 5 times longer than the original video, it has so far been getting a lot of massive praise, and this was something that I have worked very hard on, and I try to make sure that I would go and make this a bit like my magnum opus. Or is that the term, magnum opus? Yeah, I think that's how you say it. But that really was something that I've worked very hard on to make sure that it would be the best animation lookback so far, or even the best animation lookback ever. And it really does help that I got the additional animation work from Logan Miller, aka Toucan LDM. He is an incredible animator, and I am so glad that he offered his services to work on Animation Lookback as well, to really capture that original magic of Animation Lookback. So that is something that I'm really glad to see that It's going very well with the first part so far. Everybody's been loving it, and I can't wait to show you more parts that are going to be coming up in the future. And as I've stated before, I am still committed to go and upload at least 1 or 2 parts per month. Or actually, no, not at least, at most 1 or 2 parts per month. Because it is still pretty time consuming to go and create this, especially when it's mostly just me that's working on everything from the research to the recording to the editing and the writing and all that kind of stuff. So it does take a lot of time to go and create each part, but I cannot wait to go and release more of them for you guys. And I cannot wait to go and dive more into the history of Disney animation. So that I know is going to be a fun adventure. And as long as you're with me on this YouTube channel or following me everywhere else on social media, then stay tuned because there's plenty more Disney history to come. But with all that said and all that out of the way, now let's actually talk about the actual update part, because this is an update vlog after all. And I will say right now, for the foreseeable future, or at least for the upcoming months, things are going to be going regular. Like, nothing is going to change all that much. You're still going to get a good amount of reviews. You're still going to get a good amount of different types of videos. And of course, you're still getting Animation Lookback Disney+. So all that is going to be going very well. But the big thing that I want to discuss for this video in particular is going to be regarding what's going to happen in the month of December, and that's going to be a very significant month, especially for me. Because the thing with December, not only is it the end of the year, but it's also going to be the end of the decade. Since we are in 2019, and then next year, we're going to start a brand new decade with 2020. And from there, some people have been asking me, what is it that I'm going to do? Because as you guys know, usually at the end of the year, I would go and make my annual top 5 best and worst animated features of that particular year. But some people are wondering, well, am I going to do something a little bit more as well? Am I going to go and look upon the decade as well? Now, honestly, that has actually been something that I have considered throughout this year. And honestly, yes, I'm actually going to go and do it. And this is what I want to go and talk about, because throughout the month of December, you are going to go and get not 1, not 2, but 3 top lists regarding not only the animated films of this year, but also regarding the animated films of the decade. And I'm going to go and release them one by one, week after week. So it's definitely going to be something to keep an eye out, and definitely something to be excited to go and check out. Now, what these are going to be, I'll go and explain to you a little bit into detail right now. So the first of these, of course, I'd rather go and try to go and set this up a little bit like the top 5 best and worst animated films of the year. So I'm going to go and start things off by getting the negatives out of the way. So the first one of these will be the top 10 worst animated features of the 2010 decade. So I'm going to start with the negative ones and all the bad ones and get all of those out of the way. Just take them down one by one. Look among the worst of the worst of these and try to find out and crown who is going to be the worst of the worst of the decade. However, there is one thing that I would like to clarify for this list, is that I'm only going to be looking into the mainstream ones. I'm only going to go and look into the ones that have been released worldwide in a wide release. I think that's the best way to put it. So I'm not going to go and put the ones that have often been referred to as the worst, that only got a DVD release or a small indie release. So you're not going to go and find something like Food Fight or Where the Dead Go to Die. Besides, like, it's better not to include those because that would make this list a little too easy and a little bit too predictable. But then after that, the next one, like the week after the top 10 worst, of course, we are going to go into the top 10 best animated features of the 2010 decade. And this one could be a little bit more controversial because, once again, like with the top 10 worst, I'm only going to be focusing on the mainstream animated features. I'm only going to be looking at the ones that got a wide release. So unfortunately, the indie films are not going to be on this list as well. And I think it's probably for the best, because I know that if I would include the independent animated features, then that list would honestly just be consisted of literally animated features that very few people have actually heard of, and I would get so many complaints of people that are angry at me for not including their favorite mainstream animated feature onto the list. So honestly, I'm only going to be focusing on just the mainstream ones, but hopefully with both the best and the worst, like, it will go well. It will be for the best. And then, of course, the last of these will be the usual top 5 best and worst animated films of the year. The top 5 best and worst of 2019. So that is going to be something that I have yet to start things off, of course, because we still got a few more animated features to come. So before I start anything on any of these lists, I still have to wait a little bit to see how the rest of 2019 is going to go. And honestly, I would not necessarily be all that surprised if any of these lists will end up being a little bit controversial. Now, when I say controversial, though, I don't mean that I'm gonna end up saying something very bigoted or something very provocative. Not that kind of controversial. I mean the usual controversial. The usual reasons why my top 5 best and worst animated films have often been controversial in the first place. The kind that I would get a bunch of whiny people complaining that, oh, I don't like it that you don't have this movie on this list. I don't like it that you have this movie on this list. I wish that this movie was higher on the list. I wish this movie was lower on the list. You know, that kind of usual complaints from people who only want to hear what they want to hear instead of listening to someone else's opinion. So honestly, in that regard, I'm kind of used to it at this point. So these people, honestly, I just don't care what the fridge they're gonna say. So it's my list. I'm the one making it. I'm the one who's going to be expressing my opinion here. So if they're not pleased with the list, well, then that's their problem, not mine. But yes, in all seriousness, though, yes, those are going to be the 3 top lists that are going to be happening throughout the month of December. But also there is another reason why I want to talk about specifically about the month of December, because not only am I going to have those videos coming up, but also it is going to be a bit of a cluttered year. That's going, well, not a cluttered year, a cluttered month. Because I'm just going to say this right now. Don't be surprised if you're going to see a lot more videos from me than usual. Like, it's not just going to be once a week. Like, this is going to be a week where it's going to be a month where it's going to be pretty common where you're going to see me upload at least 2 videos a week, or 3 if you do count the usual episodes of ANIMAT'S Crazy Cartoon Cast. And from there, that's where I'm also going to add a whole bunch of reviews, because during the month of December, there will still be a bit more animated films that will be released. Of course, I got my usual ANIMAT'S Classic reviews, but then there's also Playmobil the Movie that's going to be released during that month as well. But the one that I am concerned the most about is actually going to be regarding Spies in Disguise, since that's going to be literally released on Christmas Day, and that's going to be something that will be conflicting with my schedule, and I'm going to have a bit of a hard time to try to figure out where to put some stuff on the list. And especially, this is especially going to be complicated in terms of making the top 5 best and worst animated films of 2019. And then, of course, like, some people could say, what about Shaun the Sheep Farmageddon? Because some have stated that there is a possibility that could be released sometime in the month of December in North America, but nowadays that doesn't seem to be the case, and the North American release could actually be delayed, so we don't know what's going on with that. But my concern is a lot more on Spies in Disguise right now, because I won't have time to actually go and watch the movie and make the review during that day because, well, let's be honest, it's freaking Christmas. And I swear, I better not see people complaining and write down in the comments, where is your Spies in Disguise review? I'm a little busy right now. I mean, it's enough that these comments are already annoying that people will just ask, oh, where's your review of this and that on like random videos where that has nothing to do with anything. So I better not see those kinds of comments of asking, where's my Spies in Disguise review on Christmas? Because that's really the kind of behavior where really you're just acting before you think. And you're most likely the kind of person that shouldn't even be writing comments in the first place. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if people are going to be doing that on this update vlog in particular. Alright, but anyways, going back into the issue of Spies in Disguise. Now, that's going to be something that will be conflicting a little bit with my schedule. And I know that the first thing I will do after watching that movie is not necessarily starting that video, but rather to go and set up the top 5 best and worst animated films of 2019 and like add that onto wherever it would be on the list, and then finally just upload it on YouTube and on Patreon and stuff like that. I'll do the best I can to try to figure out what to do with that entire scenario. It's going to be a little bit difficult to try to figure out, but I am hoping for the best to see if it can actually work. But one thing I will say in terms of the Spies in Disguise review, don't be surprised if it does happen that it'll end up being the first video I will release in 2020, that I will delay the review until the week after Christmas, like during the week of New Year's specifically, so that I would have more time to go and create the review and then actually go and upload it properly. You know, to properly go and create the review so that I don't have any holiday rush that's conflicting with my whole working schedule. So that's currently the scenario that's going to happen. So all I'm saying is that throughout the month of December, just be prepared for not only the 3 top lists of the best and worst animated features of not only the year, but of the decade, but expect a lot more different videos to come, especially a lot more reviews. And don't be surprised if the Spies in Disguise video is going to be delayed until the week after Christmas. So just giving you all a little bit of a heads up on that. And I think that's pretty much the big thing that I do want to talk about regarding this entire update vlog. And with all that said, it might seem like a bit of a short update vlog, but yeah, that's all there is to it. Maybe on the next update vlog, I'll have a lot more to go and discuss and a lot more different updates, but so far, there's not going to be a whole lot that's going to change, but I just want to give you a heads up on what to expect in the near future. So with all that said and done, I would like to say thank you all so much for watching, and thank you all so much for the 100,000 subscribers and for sticking by me throughout this 10-year adventure. It's been an absolute blast, and I can't wait to see what more can this journey bring to me, or where else can this journey lead me, because so far I'm having a lot of fun and I can't wait for more. And also, don't forget to go and follow me, like not only subscribe to me on YouTube, but follow me on social media. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, and also I have my Patreon account. So if you guys would like to go and support my work and get a lot of amazing rewards at the same time, including but not limited to watching my videos before everyone else, like to see them 2 days in advance before it officially hits YouTube and be seen by the public, then all you have to do is go to patreon.com/animat. And once again, I would like to say thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, see you later, dudes!